wanted it used under the constitutional amendment. So we're going to get back to using the funds for Forever Florida to purchase sensitive lands and waters. And we're going to make sure that we buy those lands. We have a great crisis in this state. We may need to use lands to divert water as we see rising sea levels. And we've got to make sure that the environment, again, is protected, that it's not a partisan issue. In the state of Florida, the environment never used to be a partisan issue, but this last governor has made it. He's put the developers in charge. The people of Florida deserve to have a governor that's protecting what is most precious, our water, our beaches, our springs. We're not going to frack in Florida. We're not going to drill off of our beaches. We're going to protect Florida so that the future of Florida is bright for every single Floridian.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. Mr. Gill, you're next.
Yeah, well, we obviously need to make the Florida Forever funds do exactly what they were designed to do. But there are a couple of other things that we've got to address in this state as it relates to the water quality and what is the nitrate levels that are going into our groundwater and creating algae blooms of guacamole content out of the east and the west side of this state. We do have to deal with sugar, and we got to make them. My job is to put sugar out of business. I want sugar to be a better business. I want them to pay good wages. I want them to make sure that they are restoring the natural flow of water to the Everglades. But I also want to make sure that when we're talking about sugar, y'all, that we're also talking about the 50,000+ families whose livelihoods are dependent on that issue, who haven't heard anybody talk about what their North Star is going to look like. What new jobs are we going to bring for them when we transition away from that industry? They deserve a new deal, and as part of dealing with sugar and environmental regulation, we also have to deal with the fact that we have a whole workforce there that we've got to train, put to work with good jobs and earn good wages.
Thank you, Mr. Gill. Again, the question discussing funding of Amendment 1 in Everglades Restoration, Mr. Levine.
So, we understand that the majority of all our fresh water comes from the Everglades in South Florida. Florida Forever was a program that was put in place, as we know, to buy enough land so that we were able to properly clean Thrig Reservoir, the water coming down from Lake Okeechobee. Unfortunately, what we've seen happen in Tallahassee is they chopped it up. They voted to make it smaller. They voted to not spend as much. They voted to make the reservoir deeper. And we know that unless this reservoir is shallow and wide, it cannot filter the water properly to the Everglades, which is the water South Florida is dependent on. If I'm governor, we are going to expand the size of that reservoir, and we are going to do exactly what the people of Florida asked the government to do. Because without fresh water, South Florida will have a really challenging future. We're also experiencing saltwater intrusion into our aquifer, and we need to make sure we have alternative ways of creating fresh water through desalination. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kidd.
My impatience on this issue is I don't believe we're going to do any of these things if we don't address the influence of an industry that has total control of what we're talking about. The reason that a reservoir, look, about the time Gwen's father was a governor, we were talking about a reservoir. We've been talking about it every year for decades. The reason we don't have one is because of the sugar industry. You know, the reason that we haven't directed water south, which is so important for people that live in Broward County who are depending on clean water, is because of the sugar industry that is taking it east and west. If you saw just these last weeks, we've discharged another hundreds of thousands of gallons of dirty water in the east and west side of the state. We do it year after year after year. We have to stand with courage when it comes to the sugar industry. Yes, we have to care for the jobs and the people, but let me tell you, they haven't been well taken care of. We've got to do a better job of taking care of them as well.
That's the housing